You don't notice it at first, the quiet exhaustion building inside you, the way your chest feels a little tighter at the end of a long day, the way your mind keeps running even when your body begs for rest, because life has trained you to ignore the small signals and keep moving forward as if nothing is wrong, as if your heart is not silently carrying every stress, every worry, every unspoken fear you push aside just to survive another day. And maybe no one ever told you that sometimes the biggest changes don't come from massive decisions, but from the smallest moments you almost overlook, because hidden inside one single minute of your day is the power to reset everything you feel, everything you carry, everything you are becoming. And yet you rush past it again and again, thinking you don't have time, thinking 1 minute won't matter. But what if that 1 minute is the difference between burnout and balance, between feeling lost and feeling in control, between just existing and actually living? Because your heart is not asking for hours of effort or dramatic transformation. It is asking for one conscious pause, one intentional breath, one step taken with awareness instead of pressure. And in a world that constantly demands more from you, choosing to give yourself even 60 seconds of presence becomes an act of quiet rebellion, a moment where you stop running and start listening, not to the noise outside, but to the truth within. And maybe that truth is simple. Maybe it is just telling you to slow down, to breathe deeper, to remember that you are not a machine built for endless output, but a human being who deserves moments of stillness. And in that stillness, something powerful begins to shift, something you cannot see immediately, but can feel growing stronger with every mindful second you allow yourself to experience. But here is where it becomes uncomfortable, because the moment you decide to stop, even for 1 minute, you are forced to face everything you have been avoiding, the thoughts you buried under distractions, the emotions you silenced with business, the quiet truth that maybe you are not as okay as you pretend to be. And this is why most people never build this habit, not because it is difficult, but because it is honest, and honesty requires courage, the kind of courage that asks you to sit with your own heartbeat and truly listen, because in that single minute of slow breathing or a short mindful walk, something unusual begins to happen. Your racing thoughts start to settle, your body begins to release tension you didn't even realize you were holding, and your heart, the very core of your existence, starts to find a rhythm that feels natural again, not rushed, not forced, just real. And yet your mind will resist. It will tell you that this is pointless, that you have more important things to do. That 1 minute cannot possibly change anything. But that voice is not truth, it is habit. It is the conditioning that has kept you disconnected from yourself for so long. And if you give in to it, you stay exactly where you are, overwhelmed, exhausted, and constantly chasing a sense of peace that always feels just out of reach. But if you stay, if you commit to that 1 minute despite the discomfort, despite the restlessness, you begin to unlock something deeper, something most people never experience. A quiet awareness that starts to grow stronger each day, a sense of control not over the world around you, but over the way you respond to it. And that is where the real transformation begins, not in grand gestures, but in these tiny, consistent acts of presence that slowly reshape the way you think, the way you feel, and ultimately the way you live. And then one day, without warning, you begin to notice something different, not a dramatic shift that the world applauds, but a quiet transformation that only you can feel, the kind that shows up in the way your mornings feel less heavy, the way your thoughts no longer rush like a storm, the way your chest feels lighter, as if something you carried for years has finally loosened its grip, and you realize it did not come from a major life change or some sudden breakthrough. It came from those small, almost invisible moments you chose not to skip. Those 60 seconds where you decided to breathe instead of react, to walk instead of worry, to be present instead of lost. And this is the part no one talks about, the power of consistency in the smallest actions, because your heart does not measure effort in hours. It responds to attention, to care, to the signals you send it every single day. And when you show up for yourself in that 1 minute, you are teaching your mind and body a new way to exist, a way that is calmer, stronger, and more aware. And over time, that 1 minute stops feeling like an effort and becomes a part of who you are, a quiet anchor in the chaos of life, a space where you reconnect with yourself no matter how busy or overwhelming things become. And in that space, you begin to understand something deeply important. That saving your heart was never about doing more, it was about doing less with intention, about choosing presence over pressure, awareness over autopilot. And now the choice is in your hands because you already have the time, you already have the ability, you just need the willingness to begin. So take that 1 minute today, not tomorrow, not when life slows down, but now, because the life you want is not waiting somewhere in the future. It is being built in the small moments you choose right now. And if you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.